The NBA is horrified of this as the Boston Celtics are getting more updates on their all-star, all-NBA, NBA champ, Jayson Tatum, looking to make a return to this season. And what does this look like for the Boston Celtics moving forward as they have been playing some of the best basketball in the Eastern Conference, something that a lot of people didn't expecting this team to be a lottery picking team, but now here they are fighting for that number one spot in the Eastern Conference. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Celtics Digest. I am your host, Patrick Billings. But before we get into anything today, guys, today's video is brought to you by Koshi. And when you download the Koshi app using the link in the description, make sure you enter the code DIGESTNBA and you'll get $20 when you trade your first $100. As Koshi is the largest prediction market in the US, and on their platform you could trade yes or no on real life events such as sports, elections, news, pretty much anything. And whether you're in California, Texas, or anywhere else across the country, Koshi is live in all 50 states. And for sports fans, you can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all in a regulated market where you can cash out at any time. So as Boston Celtics fans, many of you may also be New England Patriots fans, as they are tied for third on the prediction market to come out as your NFL Super Bowl champions. So if that is a prediction that you guys like, that is there for you. And there are many other options as well. And it's genuinely a smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge, and you can close positions whenever you want. So make sure you download Koshi using the link in the description and use the code DIGESTNBA to get your $20 bonus. And thank you so much once again to Koshi for sponsoring this video. So guys, like I said, this is a pretty important topic that we do like to talk about. We don't like to bring it up too much because we see it on the injury report every single game, and that's something that I wish they would just take off. But when the day comes when Jayson Tatum returns, it'll finally be off and I don't have to be worrying about that. But we might not have to worry about that much longer, as we got a report that Jayson Tatum is looking to push really hard over the next 2 months to find himself back on the court this season. And well, this was a very interesting situation for Jayson Tatum when this injury took place. As you know, this is in a big moment against the Knicks. The Celtics are down up against it, and someone in his prime, in this position of his career, has never really gone through something like this, especially at the state of which it happened. As when this injury came about, we didn't even know fully what it was. I think many people had an idea of what happened to Jayson Tatum when he went down, but this doctor that got his surgery done, very, very high knowledge when it comes to Achilles injuries, and he got the surgery even before the announcement was made officially of the Achilles injury. And this was something that was going to be tested. There was a lot of people saying, you know, he's already ahead of schedule, as we've seen him getting around shoot-arounds, kind of picking up the pace a little bit more, even seeing some dunks a couple months after. So getting that confidence back, I think we all know the biggest part of this injury and why it takes so long is being able to get back into that flow, still having an attacker's mentality to go downhill, go for aggressive plays at the basket. It's not just really, you know, taking jump shots. Jayson Tatum could do that all day if he wanted to, not really moving, but it's that lateral movement and just being an athletic player like he is, getting back on the court and getting that confidence back is what they need to see for him to return to the court. So I think a lot of people are kind of skeptical about Jayson Tatum pushing really hard to get back onto the court because the Celtics are playing really good right now. Some people may say that it could ruin the flow, but let's not think that way, because this team is way better with Jayson Tatum on the court than he is off the court. And seeing him back on the court would make things a lot of big differences for this team, specifically because they are already contending in the East, sitting there at third behind the New York Knicks in that Eastern Conference standings. And so we can take a look here, as they are about a game behind the Knicks, as they played 2 more games than the Boston Celtics have, but only 4 behind the Detroit Pistons. Within their next couple of games, they will be seeing this Detroit Pistons team in a few games, as they have a game tonight against the Indiana Pacers. But when we look at these next 5 games for the Boston Celtics, there are some favorable games. And if the Celtics are able to keep on winning and keep on getting a push for this 1 seed and getting Jayson Tatum back as the schedule loads, just give it a couple of seconds. But if the Celtics are able to build off some of these wins and really just make the case for Jayson Tatum to get pushing back on the court, this could be something that could be really interesting for the Celtics. I think that this is the perfect case scenario as a Boston Celtics fan. Like, we thought that Jayson Tatum wouldn't come back because his team wasn't going to be able to compete this year with all these guys coming in like Josh Minott, Luka Garza. What is Neemias Queta going to look like? Is Jaylen Brown going to be able to lead this team, or is it going to be Derrick White kind of carrying the load? Everything was so different this year, but now this is the best case scenario for this Boston Celtics team, having Jayson Tatum coming back to the right situation and being back on a team that is competing for another NBA championship. This is just a blessing in disguise, some to say, because if Jayson Tatum is on a court with a team that's competing, he's going to want to go out there and play as hard as possible. And if he's going to push himself, then so be it. He's a competitor. As much as we may not want him to push it, he wants to be on that court. And if we're talking about his running mate, Jaylen Brown, having an absolutely unbelievable season and what it's going to look like with them two playing next to each other, as we see him ranking 4th in scoring this season, and just with the rebounding and the assists going up, the minutes per game even being there. I mean, his field goal percentage is absolutely amazing, as he's been the best mid-range shooter in the NBA. I don't think it's a question. Also, while being one of the top 5s in NBA and MVP running this season as well. And having these two back on the court will be fun. And maybe we could take a look at Jaylen Brown's shot chart, kind of what it's looked like this season, and maybe with Jayson Tatum coming back onto the court, what this would look like on the offense with both of them playing, as we've seen Jordan Walsh be in the starting lineup and kind of fall his way out, as Sam Hauser's been shooting the basketball incredibly lately. But you add Jayson Tatum into this starting lineup with Peyton Pritchard, Derrick White, Neemias Queta. I mean, this team is looking like one that you don't want to end up playing, as we see the shot chart here by Jaylen Brown, as 50% from that free throw line just outside the paint, 46% in the paint, and under the rim, 71.3%. But if we think about Jayson Tatum, right, he might be holding back a little bit on being aggressive at the rim. That's what Jaylen Brown's going to bring. You see the top of the key, not shooting the best, but in those corners is where he really gets at it and getting into the paint, getting some mid-range shots. And I think that it gives the offense a lot of different looks, because when he attacks, everyone's going to collapse on him. And Jayson Tatum could really fit into this offense really quick with his great outside shooting ability. And maybe that'll help him get into a flow early on in his return, because he can sit at that top of the key, get a couple of wide open threes. He's still going to be a threat, but it opens up everything for the offense for everybody else on the court. So if we're talking about, if you guys are nervous about maybe, Jayson Tatum rushing himself back to get onto the court, well, just think about it this way. Jayson Tatum has constantly been an all-NBA forward, first-team all-NBA forward, looking like, he was a conference MVP, could be a finals MVP and a league MVP. Regardless of his return or not, he's going to make a positive impact for this team moving forward, and I cannot wait to see him be on the court with this team, because this has been a really fun season to watch. I don't know about you guys, seeing all these guys develop, all these guys coming in, even Ugo Gonzalez, Baylor Scheinman putting in some good minutes. Just every single person on this team is making a great impact. Everyone's aggressive. Anthony Simons being Inferno, as they're all saying on the broadcast. And I mean, this team is fun. Adding Jayson Tatum to this would be a dream, and seeing them go and lift that Larry O'Brien trophy one more time would be awesome. But that's going to do it for this one. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think about Jayson Tatum trying to push himself to get back onto the court. And do you think he's going to hit that deadline of February, March, or does he not play this season, or be extra careful with this injury to see him play next season? You guys let me know. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody. Let's go Boston Celtics.